In this video, I'm going to show you how to pull data directly in from Vista by Viewpoint into Excel, creating a permanent link that is refreshable, and we're going to pull in GL information. So the first step is to go to Data, Get Data, and go to Launch Power Query Editor. The first time you come in here, you're going to have to go to New Source, go to Database, and go to SQL Server. You're going to have to type in your server and your database. If you don't know where that information is, it's on your login screen when you first open up Viewpoint. And then what's going to come up is a list of all of the tables and views that you have in Viewpoint. There's about 4,000 of them or so. And so we're going to pull in GL information. So I'm going to type in GL in the navigator, and that's going to filter the list here for me. And I want to pull in GL details. So that's GLDT, and I'll hit OK. First thing I want to do is refresh the data, make sure I'm looking at the latest information. The next thing is I want to filter out the companies that I don't need. So go to my GL company, I'll hit load more because the list is incomplete. It's only showing me a preview right now. Hit load more, and I will select companies 1 and 2. Next thing I want to do is I want to get rid of all the columns that I'm not going to need. So reverse status or just source key ID, I just won't need those. So I'll right click and hit remove columns. Next thing is I want to filter or I want to change the type for my months here, or my dates. I don't need the time in there, so I'm going to go change type to date. So that's got my GL information. I can now go ahead and go close and load to. And now I can pull it into a table if I want to show all the information here on the tab. The problem with that is it's going to make the file pretty big, so we want to avoid that if possible. So I'm going to create the connection. I'm also going to select add this data to the data model. That's going to allow me to create a pivot table based off of the data, and hit OK. Alright, so I've got 113,000 rows loaded. I can now go to Insert, Pivot Table, and now it's going to allow me to use this workbook's data model. I'm going to put a pivot table into this existing worksheet and hit OK. I can open up my GLDT information here. I can bring my month, let's say I bring it over into the columns, and my amount down here. I'll put my company into the filter, and I'll put my GL accounts down here. And there we go. Now I've got a pivot table that is linked directly into Vista. I can double click on an amount here, and I can see all the details of the transactions that went through that account. And whenever new information happens in Vista, I just go to Data and refresh all, and it's going to pull the information back in from Vista into Excel, and then I can hit refresh again, and it's going to refresh my pivot table information here. And that's all there is to that.